Once you are done conditioning the patient, on your top right corner, click this button to start the official test. When you click this, the Kuduwave will start testing the patient automatically. Click pause to ensure that you can test the patient manually. Once you click pause, you have full control of the Kuduwave, of the testing. On the right side, the top arrow is to decrease the intensity of the tone that you'll be presenting to the patient. The bottom one is to increase the intensity of the tone that you'll be presenting to the tone. The right arrow is when you're looking for a higher frequency. Left arrow when you move into a lower frequency. The middle button is what you use to present a tone once you know exactly where to present the tone. By clicking it, it will play a tone in the patient's ear. So as you see here, this shows you whether the patient has responded or not. So I'm going to present a tone. The patient didn't respond. The patient responded. Okay. Now we are on the left ear. We're testing the left ear. We can see this because the audiogram is blue. Blue is for the left ear. And we can see that here it's selected as the left ear. If you want to move to the right ear, you select R for the right ear. And you will see here that it turns red. Let's just go back to the left ear. And what we are currently testing now is air conduction. You can see because it's selected here as air conduction. If you want to move to bone conduction, you click BC, that is for bone conduction. If you're not sure what an icon does or you forgot, you can just hover your mouse around it like that and it will just show you present the tone or move the frequency higher, and then you can just know exactly what you are pressing. Once you've found your threshold for the patient, you can just click this blue X to mark the threshold. Let me just move this here so that you can see it. This is where we marked the frequency for the patient. The bottom arrow here is for when the patient has not responded. The top one is to mark a minimum plateau threshold. This one here is to delete the threshold that was plotted. If you plotted it accidentally or the patient changes their responses, you can just delete the threshold that you recorded. This icon here, when you click it, it shows you the speech area of the patient, the consonants and the vowels that the patient has access to, and it also shows you the intensity of different sounds, such as the telephone ring at 80 dB to 85 dB, baby crying and dog barking. This is a great feature for explaining or counseling to the patient or a parent or someone who actually wants to understand the patient's results according to the audiogram that you've plotted. So I'm just gonna deselect that. What are these bars here coming down and moving backwards? These are the noise monitoring bars. The Kuduwave monitors noise live. So for example, I'm just going to make some noise on the Kuduwave. So when you are making noise on the Kuduwave, you will see here it will say too loud to test. Okay, so now it's quiet enough so we can test the patient. So now let's just do a quick frequency search. We start at 1000. Just gonna present a tone. The patient responded. Go 10 decibels down. Present the tone. Patient responded. 10 decibels down. Present the tone. Patient didn't respond. 5 decibels up. Present the tone. Patient responded. Present it again. Patient responded. Then you can mark your threshold. Okay, so how you do your threshold search is up to the standards and the guidelines that you will be using. However, in this example, we are using the Hansen and Westlake guidelines for the procedure of threshold searching. What are these buttons, the icons here? These icons are used for masking. So this one is when you want to increase the masking. This one is when you would like to decrease the masking. I will explain masking just after we test the left ear. Okay, so I'm just going to discuss with you guys just some few helpful tips that will make testing faster and easier. If you click on this question mark here, just scroll down, you will see that it gives you the shortcut keys on your keyboard and the action that it does. For example, with the space bar, it presents a tone. The Y, mark a response. Moving down, del key deletes a thresh mark. Clicking the A on your keyboard turns the test to air conduction mode. The B, bone conduction mode, and so on. The right would be for the right ear, turning the test to the right ear. The L, turning the test to the left ear. These are really helpful in making sure that the test goes faster and easier. Okay, so for example, I'm pressing the right keyboard key now. It moves to a higher frequency, the left one to a lower frequency. The bottom arrow key increases the intensity. The up arrow key decreases the intensity. So I'm going to present a tone with the space button. The patient responded, 10 decibels down. Patient didn't respond, 5 decibels up. Patient responded. How do I then enter my threshold? You just click enter, then that's that. Okay, all right, so now I want to move to the right ear. I'm just gonna plot some random thresholds there. Okay, now I want to move to the right ear. I just click the R button. Okay, so that will still show you the audiogram that we plotted in the left side. So we do the same thing again here. We present a tone. If the patient respond, you decrease the intensity, present a tone. Patient doesn't respond, increase the intensity. Patient respond, present it again. Patient respond, and then plot it by clicking enter. How do you see if the patient responded? You will see it here. So when it's green and it's below this black mark, then it shows that the patient responded. I'm just going to show you an example. If you present the tone by the space key, then this goes orange. It means that the patient didn't respond. Specifically on time, the time that we set during the conditioning phase, which is 2.5 seconds. So the patient has to respond within 2.5 seconds. If you feel like the patient is unable to respond at that short time, you can actually increase this time by going back into the conditioning screen and increase it to 3 seconds. Okay, so I'm just going to plot some random thresholds there. I did this on purpose just so that I'll be able to explain masking. We mask when the air conduction threshold of the test ear minus the interaural attenuation, which is 40 decibels, is equals to or bigger than the air conduction tone or threshold of the non-test ear. This means we're taking 60 minus 40, which is 20, and then 20 is bigger than the air conduction threshold of the non-test ear. So how do we mask? Then we will take the air conduction of the non-test ear, which is 15, and we'll add 15, which gives us 30. That's how much masking we will be doing. So I'm just going to decrease this, increase this to 30, and then now in the left ear of the patient is hearing a white noise, and then obviously that's when you mask. At any time during the test, if you'd like to discuss something with a patient, you would like to recondition them, you can just go click a talk back, and then you should be able to speak to the patient. That is manual testing.